Today I am going to discuss the famous poem by Mathew Arnold, Dover Beach. In my previous video, I have given the Hindi translation of the same poem. Now I am going to discuss it with you. Here the poem is. You can read it, pause the video, read it. It's in their syllabus. So the poem must be in your textbooks also. So I am not wasting my time on that. We'll straight away come to the summary of the poem. The summary of the poem is very, very important. The speaker looks out upon a calm sea. He observes the English Channel coast and he looks at the French coast, which has dim lights, and then he hears the waves of the sea coming and clashing at the pebbles at the seashore and then going back. And the poet connects it to the sadness, to the changes that are coming in humanity. Suddenly the poet addresses somebody else. There is somebody else also in the room whom he calls, maybe his lady friend or maybe his wife, and says that something is not quite right and describes the spray where the water meets the moonlit land. The speaker instructs the other person to listen to the sound of pebbles. And all of a sudden, the speaker thinks about the ancient Greek playwright Sophocles and imagines Sophocles hearing the same sadness in the Aegean Sea as the speaker hears now on the English coast. The speaker then notices another thought that comes with the sound of the sea. Explaining this next thought, the speaker describes religious faith as a sea that was once full like the tide. At that time, it reached around the earth like a girdle. Now, though the speaker just hears that sad sea, sad retreat, and then the speaker suddenly addresses the companion as love and states desperately that the two of them need to treat each other with honesty and authenticity. In this fake world, at least let us be honest with each other. This is because the world, though it has become a dream-like quality of variety, beauty and newness doesn't actually offer joy, love or clarity. Neither, claims the speaker, can it provide certainty, peace or relief from pain. And then the speaker finally compares their collective situation to standing on a flat and dark piece of land which is caught up in the chaos of fighting. Here, battles between unknowing groups continue under the cover of darkness. These are the main themes of the poem, Dover Beach. And the main theme is loss of faith and certainty. This poem asks the reader to consider what is lost in humankind's movement away from certainties of the Christian faith. Loss of faith equates to loss of certainty. The Dover Beach itself seems to embody this loss both in its sights and its sounds. At first, the poem offers no clues that its main subject is the loss of faith. Instead, it begins by describing the atmosphere in which the speaker stands. The descriptions of the sea and the sound of pebbles on the beach are lyrically beautiful at first, but they mask the eternal note of sadness. This sudden intrusion of sadness hints at the speaker's sense of loss, which finds fuller expression later in the poem. Through the symbol of the sea, the poem suggests two key ideas. Firstly, that major shifts in the fabric of society occur subtly. The beach's slow, repetitive movement symbolize the gradual but inevitable loss of faith that the speaker senses in his historical moment. Secondly, mapping the loss of religious faith onto the movement of the waves implies that these kinds of historical changes come in cycles, waves in other words. So these changes come like the cycles of the waves. Indeed, the speaker imagines the ancient Greek playwright Sophocles hearing the same sadness in the sea that the speaker hears now. The speaker sees an analogy between the irrelevance of the classical Greek gods in the speaker's time with the coming irrelevance of the Christian God in the near future. That doesn't mean that religious faith will return, but more that something will come along to take its place, in his case, the dominance of science. I hope you have understood the poem well. Listen to the Hindi translation and also pause the video, read the summary, read the themes and try to understand. And if you don't understand anything, please ask me questions, like this video and subscribe it. Thank you.